I'm live. We're live. I'm live.
You left.
Yeah, well, you're near death over on the, yeah. And your phone just made a sound.
Thank you.
I'm drinking water tonight. I'm drinking plain H2O tonight because I have some burrito stuck in my beard. I'm drinking plain H2O because Uncle Kathy had a near-death experience today while filming a video. She fell into a ditch and did this to her ankle. She turned it, and she's all destroyed. She's hurled. So no, don't laugh. You're hurled. You're jacked up.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just plain old water for me tonight. No tang.
Sorry. If you put it to me, I'll put it in the water.
No, just relax. Just relax. I don't need you to do anything except, convalesce. Yes. All right. So, hey everybody, what's going on? Buff, what's going on? Yeah, no, Buff is usually here, but we told him don't come because it's raining out tonight, so we're not going to do our usual thing. And Uncle Kathy is like a holy mess over there. It's terrible. I wouldn't want Buff Del Campo to see Uncle Kathy in her current condition because it may scar him. Buff is a very meek kind of guy. Dakota's timeout. What's going on? Okay, so now I got to try to read these things too, on top of everything else. See, like she normally reads these things. Now I have to read them. Swap Rat, I tried calling you yesterday for your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, James.
It's my brother James, Swamp Rat. Is she drunk again? No. This time it's just she's hurled. So I don't know how we're gonna do stuff like laundry and I have to drink plain water. Okay, where are we here? You got to get a 69 Super Beat tomorrow. Good luck with that, Corey. Tony, swapping an A2 to an 833. Will most stuff be the same? A230 uses a 904 style yoke, and the 833 uses a 727 style yoke. But other than that, they're the same. Yes. No exit 80 tonight, John. No, it's raining out there.
I said waiting.
Oh, yeah, I can hear her. She's still able to read.
I can read. I told you I could read. I just have to do it over here.
Yeah, well, she's all hurled. If she Mopar then says, "Oh, you can read it yourself. I don't have to read that."
Yeah, I can read it. No, I'm fine. I fell into a hole.
How did the clutch work? I put it in the car last night. I haven't, I haven't had it. It feels good. It feels good. The clutch pedal feels about what I would expect it to. It was like mush. Like, really, it was like nobody home. Now it feels like a clutch.
Thanks for your Mopar, dude.
Oh. Let's see. When am I going to drive Bottle Rocket? I've been driving Bottle Rocket. Are rear brake backing plates interchangeable between 8 3/4 and a Dana? Yes, they are. Well, as long as it's a car Dana. The car Dana uses 8 3/4 axle tubes. Does your uncle smoke weed? No, I don't, man. But I encourage you to smoke as much as you can. Oh, the Kickendall said $5 for your broken foot.
Thank you, Mike.
See, look at that. Thank you, Mike. You're awesome.
It's up to that.
Well, you're not done toughing it out yet. It just happened a couple of hours ago.
I know.
Yeah. When you're gnawing through like chunks of wood because you're beside yourself with pain, you may have a different. Yeah. Was the Mustang the only new car I ever bought? Yes, it was. The idea of making a payment on a car just killed me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't live with myself.
Thank you, King Eric.
My wife hit a dog on a motorbike yesterday and broke her right humerus. Oh, geez. How did the dog? I see. I know. You. I hope your wife feels better, but I hope the dog got away okay. Time to walk it off. She's not walking anything off. You got to see. She's. Oh, Mopar Den sent $20 for your convalescence. Oh, you guys are too much. Maybe I should break some stuff.
No, don't break anything. Thank you,
Or maybe if I just tear a little cartilage. Let's see. The crow used a dollar sign next to the chat box. I don't. Oh, okay. Tasman, Atlanta. What's going on? Yeah, she'll be all right. She'll be all right. It's a clutch foot though, right? Is that your clutch foot?
It is my clutch.
Yeah, no driving bottle rocket for her. She won't get back in the damn thing.
What?
Thank you, Jim.
I won't what?
You won't get it. You won't drive that car
I drive it.
at the track.
Sure.
Then why am I driving it?
I got a bad ankle.
You didn't have a bad ankle when we were at there.
Well, you were testing it out.
I don't want to test it out. I want you to test it out.
No, you tested it out.
Okay, when will I do the drum brake conversion? This is Bruce, and put alloy wheels on that thing. No, it's never getting alloy wheels. And I'm looking for a set of 10-inch drums on spindles. I don't have any. I have a set of 11s, but I don't have any 10s for that. But it'll be over the winter when I do that. Let's see. Get her a wheelchair with the 354 barrel positive track. Yeah, we could do that. Did we get hit by a hurricane? No, that hit. We're getting the rain from it now. We're getting all of it. We're supposed to get rain for like the next 3 or 4 days. No, but that was a couple hundred miles south of us. Maybe a good time for a marathon. No, not now. This is gonna be a short night tonight. Thank you, Rolka. So 73 Charger being taken out of my neighborhood in a semi-10. I never appreciated them, but they look great in factory trim. They do.
They look great with pinstripes.
They do. They do. Every year of a Mercury Montego, of course. I have a 69 Charger with 11-inch factory front discs and small cracks near the studs. Oh yeah, those things are bad. I can find any rotors and stores around. Do you know where I can get new brake? Those are those Kelsey Hayes. Geez, I don't know, man. If I were you, I would swap to the later style. I would swap to the unless you're doing a full-on restoration on that car. Parts for that are a real bitch. How long haven't I driven the 68 Roadrunner? It's been in the garage for a couple of years. Hey, Al. Do I ever think I will get sponsored by Tang and Bugler with the bottle rocket? Well, I'm sponsored by them spiritually. You know, that's how I look at it. Everything I do, every place I go, I take a little bit of Tang and a little bit of Bugler with me. And look, I'm taking some of the Hawaiian burrito from the Mexican place up the street over here with me. And we just ate like right before we came on. It was delicious. Did I get my message from Crystal? I did not. I'll tell you, what would you recommend for a cam for 318 daily driver? Swinger, any RV cam works great for a daily driver. I think Direct Connection used to recommend the Purple Shift for a lot of applications. Purple Shift was a generic name because the foundry that cast the forged, they did the blanks for Chrysler, did them in purple with like a purple protective coating over them. And so all of the Chrysler, all of the camshafts that were available through Direct Connection back in the day, the aftermarket camshafts, all had this purple finish on it. That's what they called purple shafts. It wasn't just one grinder, it was all of them. You like my dog on the couch? I have 4 dogs. They're all over. Which, before I forget, we're going to start a new channel. We should have the first video up over the next couple of days or so called Dogs Eating Cheese. So keep that in mind. You know, totally serious video. The channel, we've already got the channel listed, but it's just not up yet. So it's going to be called Dogs Eating Cheese, and it's just going to be dogs eating cheese. Like it's a way to counterbalance like all of the craziness and shit. You got commies running amok everywhere. No, but we got dogs eating cheese. So that's coming very soon. Next couple of few days, we'll have one of those up.
So I just want to send me his walker. Tell him I said thank you.
I know she's good. We keep a pair of crutches around here because I'm always on and off with goddamn crutches. So she'll use those until I need them for something. 69 Charger front brake rotors. What would I recommend for a replacement front disc brake kit? I would find the any 1973 and up A or B body setup. Will bolt right on there. Use that. Dogs eating. That's right, Dakota. Dogs eating cheese will make us millionaires. That's why we're doing it. Plus, the love of dogs and cheese. Nick the Scorpio, have you ever raced a Famoso in Bakersfield? No, not in person. I've worked with guys over the phone who ran the March meet and all of that. At times, but no, I've never actually been to. I've never been to that track myself. Would I like guest dogs eating cheese? Yeah, John, of course. All dogs eating cheese. All different kinds of cheese. And we're gonna try to go to shelters too, and do shelter dogs eating cheese, and maybe we can get some of them adopted.
They asked if the public can contribute.
Yes, the public can definitely contribute.
Dogs eating cheese? Yeah.
Yes. Bruce, can you go to the clutch shop again and make a video on what he does, how he measures them, etc.? Yes, I will. Those guys are really busy. And it's a little bit hard to film. There's a lot of noise that goes on, but yeah, I'm going to get together with the guy John. He seems like a really nice guy, and we'll do a video we'll do a whole thing on clutches, But like I said, it's not the kind of thing where you can just walk in there and just start shooting stuff, and it's chaos. It's really craziness. It's a really old school shop, like it's like a 1940s shop, Okay, let's see. Great. Oh, great. Are you familiar with it, Joseph? Barrows, any plans to do a meet and greet challenge? Challenge us to build a car, truck, and drive it to you for UTG Live Extravaganza. I'm down if you are. I'm open for all sorts of things. My problem is organizing things. We don't have the time to organize things. You guys have no idea, how much craziness goes into keeping this channel going. Let's see. Love how you show the stock stuff from the head gaskets and how they perform. I'm not sure what she's talking about, but let's see. Am I going to try and meet with Nick next year? I don't know. What is the correct mozzarella to cigarette ratio to keep an uncle running at peak horsepower? Brother man, I don't consume enough mozzarella. I honestly don't. At times in my life I did. I had a lot of fucking mozzarella, but lately no. It's been missing from my life, so I got to work on that. As a seller, does the fact they plan to keep it forever play into negotiations? Well, yeah. If they're going to keep it forever, why are you going to try to buy it from them? Thank you, Mopardin. Need to lift the rear of my satellite a bit for stance. Go for air shocks? Not a good idea. Not for long term. Also, my duals are installed. Sound clip on my YouTube channel. I will check that out. No, the air shocks are good if you just need, you're loading up the trunk, you're gonna pull a trailer, you throw some air shocks in it, get it leveled out, you know what I mean, and run it like that. But you don't want to. No, you don't want to do that. I would get the springs arched. Do it the right way and get the springs arched. The problem with using shackles to raise the car is that the shackle is actually an active part of the spring. A lot of people don't realize that. And a longer shackle takes some of the arc, some of the tension out of the spring. So what happens is you'll go, let's say you'll add 4 inches of shackle, but you only get 1 inch of rise out of the rear of the car. And also you're taking the arc out of the spring. Damn, Unc is a seller. Oh, geez, I'm not sure. I'm not even really sure what you're talking about. Yeah, I had a long day. So if some stuff's going over my head, and I've got Uncle Kathy dying on the couch over there. This is Uncle Kathy's last stand, in all likelihood.
I'm not dying.
Well, you could be. Let's see.
How much did you pay for the dang national?
How much did I pay for what?
For the clutch.
Ah, I bought them lunch. They didn't want to take any money from me. I bought them lunch, but I imagine a job like that would probably be about $50, $60.
I don't have the COVID.
She might have it in her ankle. She might have it in her ankle. What's happening, 672E Galaxy? I can't wait till Hemi Bushy gets going. Yes, oh God, I'll have the motor for the Hemi Mitsubishi will be here this week, like I think Monday, tomorrow. And we were just over at Jim Bennett's shop with the Turbo Dart, which is where Uncle Kathy had her fatal accident. And
I'm not dead.
Oh, you were mortally wounded. And so we got that car running. The Dart runs. Now we just got to work a few little bugs out of it and start tuning it. Tell Uncle Kathy not to die. Yeah, I will.
I'm not gonna
die. Had a great. Oh, hey, hi, Brian. Yeah, no, it was nice meeting you guys. If the buyer plans to keep forever, does it play into negotiations? If the buyer plans to keep forever, does it play? I don't know. I don't really understand that question, man.
Does it mean like if you're going to buy a car and you tell them that you're planning on keeping the car forever, does that play into negotiations? That you want to give it a good home? Okay. So you're saying that if you want to give the car a good home, that you plan on keeping it, you're not going to flip it. Should it play into negotiations? Depends on the amount of sentimental value that the seller has attached to the car. I have gotten great deals because I said that I was not going to part the car. I wasn't going to hot rod it. I wasn't going to cut it up. So yeah, I've gotten deals like that. And I would, if I was selling, I don't really sell cars. But if I was selling, yeah, I would take that into consideration too. How's the Sunny 6 build going? It's not, man. It's totally on stall right now. What's going on, DMC? Well, thanks, Josh. I try. ACC. No, I'll get back to it. It's just, it's been a chaotic year. And everything's got a little weirder than we expected. Things have taken more time than I expected. So, we'll get back on track. I'm in no rush. We keep making videos. It's moving forward. Ever discuss zinc additives for video and cam break-in? Is there any risk of damage or benefit to zinc additives were not required? No, it's not going to hurt anything. And I generally recommend just, you can use an additive for the initial break-in, but then after that, just use like Shell Rotella. Any diesel oil has enough zinc in it to keep the engine happy. ACC been working 84 hours a week since May. Yeah, I know the feeling. The thing is, when you do YouTube, even when you're not working, you're working. There's no such thing. If you're awake, if your eyes are open, you're working. You know, you're thinking about something, or you're planning something, you're doing something, you're cleaning something. You're always working. You know. Sambino gives a shout out to the doggos in the background. That's there you go. That's Maggie licking herself up there. That's Darla all stretched out on the top of the couch, and that's Lily laying down. Tony, been a crazy week for me. Cut my finger on Friday, put back on Saturday morning. Why'd you wait so long to put it back? You got to put them on right away. Well, yeah, I guess if you go to a doctor, they could knock that out for you like this the next day. Zero, thank you for being zero. Moving to Nashville soon. Yeah, into Octane. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of people moving to Nashville. See Uncle Crystal. If you're moving to Nashville and you need real estate, right? Oh, look, I'm all full of plugs tonight, right? Uncle Crystal sells real estate. Crystal Sells Tennessee. It's a YouTube channel. If you or anybody is looking for real estate, you know, especially here in the Nashville area, Crystal Sells Tennessee. Go there and check her out. She'll hook you up. She'll do you right. She's good people. I raised her up myself. "30-second video, no cigarette." Where'd you see a 30-second video? Kat, did I film a cigarette video with no cigarettes?
What?
I know he says I filmed a video with no cigarette.
You did?
I don't know. What was the moment you realized the car industry was for you? The car industry is not for me. Cars are for me. The industry is just like a negative byproduct I got to carry around on my fucking back all the time. You give me the impression you enjoy George Carlin. Uncle Kathy likes George Carlin. She read all of his books and stuff like that. You know, I think she was sad when he died. Yeah, I mean, I never really paid much attention to him. Yeah, he was a funny guy. Well, there you go, into Octane. Definitely. Uncle Crystal. Crystal Sells Tennessee on YouTube. I have a locked up motor with rust on a plug. Should I even bother pulling the head or just scrap it? Man, it depends on the motor. The rarity of, I mean, listen, these days, even small block Chevys, old small block Chevys are starting to get rare. So, I mean, yeah, it may be toast to you, but I bet you somebody could use it or parts off of it. Are there any classic Paul Gray? Are there any classic cars here in the UK that you like? Paul from Scott. I got a bug for early Jags. Yeah, there's a lot of cars. I would love to have a real Mini. You know, yeah, actually, there's several Brit cars or European cars I actually like a lot. Yeah, the Jensen Interceptor had a 440. Oh, excuse me. Dalton, yes, it has been a while since I've seen you on a stream. Do you think the creeping crud you and Kathy had last year was the COVID? Yeah, I do, absolutely. We had all the symptoms. Which is how I know the current COVID thing is bullshit. Because we had it before it was actually a thing. We had it before it actually came here to this country, when it was still like, oh, it's in China. You know, we had it back in December. You know? So, but yeah, absolutely. I know we had it. We had it, all of the symptoms, 100% of the symptoms. Smokey Dog, what's going on, brother, man? My favorite fucking troll. You're awesome, Smokey. Bottle Rocket is rocking for a 318. Wait till you see when I got a whole run put together, you know? Like on that last one, the 8, whatever it was, 886, whatever it happened to be. You gotta realize that I shifted to third about 100 feet before the finish line, right? And as soon as it ran away, I took my foot out of it. So I actually coasted through. I probably coasted the last 50 or 60 feet of that run, was just coasting through. That car is faster than you think it is. Classic Ride Society shout out. You are awesome. Oh, Classic Ride here? Yeah, definitely. Great channel. Put a damn motor with a stall in it and let's move on to a bigger motor. Car needs a big block. No, bro, it's the challenge. It's the challenge. I got big blocks everywhere. I got a couple of big block cars. It's the challenge. A car like Bottle Rocket. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something cool about a car like Bottle Rocket, right? A lot of drag racing is ego. Okay, it's all ego. It's all about ego, right? But a lot of the competition is about ego. And when you run, let's say you've got a fast car, a known fast car. You got like a Hellcat. You got whatever it happens to be, right? And you run something like Bottle Rocket. If that car is even close, if you can't gap that thing by bus lengths, right? You lost. Psychologically, you lost because there you are, and you're doing your thing, and you're in your car, and you're looking in the mirror, and there's this big old hunk of shit just hanging right off you, and it's making you think, it's making you sweat. You won the race. You won it psychologically. The other car got to the other end first, but you actually won that fucking race.
$3 Canadian and gave you 3 thumbs up.
Thank you, brother, man.
Captain Dynamo was 78 saying $20.
Oh, did he? Captain Dynamo.
Just love the channel. Truly appreciate the thought-provoking advice you give and the effort it takes to produce it.
Thank you. That's what this channel is all about. This channel is about making you think. The channel is about getting you to think. It's about getting you to actually work on the car, right? You get out there and work on your car, whatever resources you have, and think. Because that's where you're going to get the most out of everything. Think. You got to think, right? Every part, every system, everything. That's the game. That's what makes this whole thing worth doing. What's on bottom record? It's a 318. Correct. We consider it 318 six pack. No, I got an 850 on there right now, and that car, and it seems to be the number. That seems to be the carburetor for it. It's set up to run on nitrous, so we're going to stick with and a plate system, a simple plate system. So we're going to stick with a single 4-valve. UTG, can I 8 1/4 from a 72 satellite bolt right into a 74 Duster? Not even close. 72 satellite is about 4.5 inches wider than an A body rear. So no, not even close. You could use a 65 through 70 B body rear will fit in there. And you could use an 8 1/4 from a 73 through 76 A body or all of the FMJ bodies. Bottle Rocket drove up the prices of junkyard 318s. I hope it did. Did I see that guy Brian's video talking shit? Probably. Dakota Maxwell, discuss repairing the infamous striker bolt failure in A bodies. You got to just cut it out and mold a new patch in. There's nothing you can do. The metal fatigues around that little plate that holds the post. 77 Aspa RT, better suited for drag racing or autocross? Definitely autocross. The torsion bar setup on those cars. They're nose heavy. The transverse torsion bar setup works great for handling, not so much for transferring weight. So I would say, yeah, if you were going to set up the car for either drag racing or autocross, one of those Aspen or Volares, I would say autocross is probably a better function for that car. There's only news on the Sausage Creature project. I haven't touched it. It's covered with spider webs. I haven't. I'm just. occupied with other things. Um, let's see. Hey Tony, I have a 72 Coronet with a stock 318. It pings under heavy throttle. All it has a thermal quad and a curved distributor, no vacuum vent set for 32 to 34 degrees total at 2000 RPM. How can I fix the ping? It shouldn't be pinging under that conditions. Bring it back to 30 degrees and throw some super in there, right? And see if that fixes it. If it still pings under those circumstances, you may have a head gasket that's sharing cylinders. I've had that with those engines. Can use 318 main bearing caps on a 340. They are different, but you can use them, yeah. What happened to my old magazine from the magazine, my old Mustang from the magazine days? I sold it when I wanted to go fuel racing. I was just done with everything having to do with anything with street cars. All I wanted to do was all I cared about at that point in my life was funny cars. That's all I wanted to deal with. So I got rid of the Mustang and I got rid of everything else I had that would have been like streetable. And I sold it. It changed hands. A few years ago, we tried to trace the car out. It ended up in Pennsylvania as a back half race car. It was found behind a body shop, but before we could actually get to it, the guy scrapped it. Elaine Benger. Hey, Tony from Adelaide, Australia. Can you shed some light on Shady Dell? We have heard they are no longer. I don't know. We bought an engine for a VG Coupe 5 years ago, still going really strong 111s. Nice. Yeah, but no, I have no idea. I think Uncle Kathy might have passed away because she's awfully quiet. Did you pass away? What's the matter? You what? She's in pain. You're in pain. Okay, she's in pain. Guys, we're not gonna do this long tonight. I gotta get over there and take care of her.
Okay.
No, you're not.
There's nothing you can do.
I could pray.
It's okay. You can't do anything. Keep reading questions.
All right. I'm gonna get some water. All right, so just hang on. No tang for me. Uncle Kathy's, I'll be right back. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. So talk to her for a second, Kat.
What?
Talk to her. Just say things.
Thanks, Alva. Ice and ibuprofen. Yeah, that's a Tylenol. Thanks, George. Thanks, Deborah Jack. I hope I said that right. Thanks, Vera.
Here's some rice cookies.
What happened to me? I fell in a really deep hole.
Okay, I'm back.
We just got done filming.
Oh, I missed the days when I used to have tang.
Give me your glass.
No, stop. Stay put. No, I didn't fall.
Thanks, Big Bear. Yeah, my ankle.
I'm thinking of restoring a 1987 Aries K-Code, a 224 cylinder, a 413 3-speed, and roll up windows to start up. Okay. UTG bought a base model 72 Buick Skylark and put a Buick. Oh, that sounds like fun. Put a Buick GSX 455 motor and drivetrain in. I want to show you sometime it's a tire roads for sure, but I'm sure it is. I put a Buick 455 out of a Grand Sport, a 70 Grand Sport was it, and then Olds Cutlass convertible for a guy once. And before I could change the rear, took it for a blast, and it still had like a 270 peg leg rear in it, and that car would literally not stop spinning the tire, like literally, like no matter what you did, as soon as you hit the gas, all it would do is just take that tire, just try to fling it off the rim. And it would not stop for as long as you gave it gas. It just sat there and spun that tire. All right. Okay. If I could only drive one of my cars for the rest of my life, which one would I pick? My box truck, the carry van. If I could only drive one car for the rest of my life, it would be that one. Is it possible any good horsepower with a stock 305? Yes, with a 305 short block. Those 305 heads, they were terrible. The 305 heads have a small valve, right? But it's those 305 Chevy heads. It's not the valve size that's the problem. It's the bowl behind the valve. That's terrible fucking setup. The 305 short block itself, you can make some power with, but not with those heads. What was the first engine I ever blew up? First engine I ever blew up was this one. I blew this one up. That was me when I was 16. That was my 69 Charger, and that was a 446 pack. And that was the first engine that I actually like blew up, like threw a rod through the side of. So that would have been like 1978 or 1979.
Super chat.
Super chat? Did I miss a super chat?
Redline IO sent you $6.99 Canadian dollars.
Oh, thank you.
He said, "You make great videos, and I hope you keep making them for me."
Thank you. That I'm going to try. You know, as long as Uncle Kathy survives, she's the brains behind this whole thing. She puts that UTG there on the thumbnails.
Yeah. We'll do it.
Did I talk to Uncle Brian today? Who's Uncle Brian? Auto Salvage Outlaws. Hello, Uncle. How are you? I am awesome, brother, man. But Uncle Kathy is mortally wounded.
Mortally wounded.
Tony, show us more old pictures. Do I have old pictures to show them?
I don't know, somewhere.
I don't really feel like telling stories. Oh, all right. Let me. Do you guys want to see old pictures? Yes. How many of you? It's got 356 years. No, they're not sad. They're just wanting. They're really so needy. Do you guys want to see pictures? Yes or no? Yeah. I'll dig out one of the old photo albums. Yes. Hell yes. Okay. Hang on. I'm right back.
Yeah. That's a long time, so.
All right, well, I'm getting pictures. They want to see pictures. I don't really feel like telling stories. I keep answering questions over and over again. Okay. I know, that's what I do. I love you guys. All right, so these are just old photo albums. There's a bunch of like family pictures. I'm going to show you guys.
I don't see a family pictures.
Hang on, I'm looking. Let me get some car stuff here.
The early car stuff is in the other one.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a bunch of pictures of the early car stuff in the other one.
We'll get the race car stuff in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. All right. Well, here's a random picture. This was this is a dragster that I built back in 1989. Right, 1989. So we were warming that thing up there in that picture. That's Dave Andy and Leclerc. He's a super stock racer. We used to run with his motor in my garage, and that was the first early Hemi that I built. That's a 392, blown nitro deal. That was Nostalgia Top Fuel before there was like Nostalgia Top Fuel. Before it was an official thing. Now we were in on the ground floor there. Let's see.
Boring everybody.
Well, I mean, they said they wanted us to see pictures. It takes me a minute to find pictures. Hang on. There's a lot of dead people in here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's loaded with dead people. Okay. Here's here's a picture. I used to put Uncle Kathy in the car to warm it up. See that's her standing on top of the thing. So she was like all cool with that until like it caught fire one time and she would never get back in it. Look at the look on her face. Look how thrilled she is. Yeah, I really want to be here now. You did it. But the look on your face in this picture is too much.
I think that's fire.
This was a car that I had after that. You see the shiny thing right there? That's a street sign that we had to rob, and we made a windscreen out of the street sign. And this was Dale McDougal's car. This was the Olsen brothers' car. Dale McDougal was driving that, and that car was actually destroyed. Like literally, the instant that picture was taken, it snapped an axle and got sideways into the wall. It was upside down. It is a great photo. But yeah, that picture was like literally the instant the axle broke on the car. So Dale was a great guy. He died from something recently. I don't know. But this was back around, let's say, 1990.
Frank had sent us into 499 and says, how's it going?
Thank you. More of this car. Okay, so this one here. So you guys know I like to build stuff on a budget, right? So this car here, right? I built this car, and my total investment in that car, 100% total investment, including a drum of Chinese nitro, was $5,000. We built that thing for $5,000.
What year?
That was 1991, I think, 1991 or 1992. So, and is this the one we went 202 in the 8th?
Yeah.
Or was it the other car? It was this one. Yeah, actually, it was this run right here. So,
Explain Chinese nitro.
back then, it was like dirt cheap nitro. So this one right here, this is a run. I ran 202 in the 8th mile with that car.
Oh, you haven't gone faster than 1580.
Oh well, that doesn't count. So, but that was with a completely iron motor. That was a street Hemi block, street Hemi heads, stock stroke, stock 426 size, and that car weighed 1,420 pounds, and it ran 202 in the 8th. I don't remember what the ET was. It wasn't a good ET. What else we got?
Are you putting them all back where they came from?
Yeah. This was my garage on Staten Island. So that was my car. I painted it red, and then the motor on the stand there was That was a super stock motor. That was Dave the Indian super stock motor. So my garage on Staten Island was always an interesting place. There was always a lot of neat shit going on there. And this here was this is when I was doing work for Superstock magazine. That was a drag test that I did on that Camaro, and that's Stormin Norman Hechthoff, the late great Stormin Norman Hechthoff, in the picture. What else? Am I boring you with these guys? Okay, so talk about building on a budget, right? Okay, so here, I'm going to give you the perfect example of building on a budget. We had, my partner and I was partners with Bobby Lagana on this car. We had $17,000 in that car, soup to nuts, the whole bit. It was an old alcohol dragster chassis we bought from Wayne Sulco. It was a half inch nitro motor. We ran IHRA top fuel with the car, qualified a couple of times, at a few national events, and the car actually paid for itself running match races. So we were into that car. We had $17,000 in that car. We used to haul it around on a ramp truck with the front wheels just hanging over the front of the Ford ramp truck. But yeah, we got a lot of use out of that thing. It was a good car. It got crashed a total of 3 times and kept putting it back together again. But yeah, that's 17 grand top fuel car. What else? I think that's it, right? That's all the pictures I want. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough pictures. All right, let's talk about other stuff. I'd rather talk about Slant 6s and 318s to tell you the truth. Would it be better to build an old 331 or 392 Hemi since 426 is out of price range? Those early Hemis, they're very small bore motors. They only work well supercharged, honestly, or on nitro. They run good injected on nitro or supercharged. They don't run good normally aspirated. The Ram truck belongs in Big's museum. I don't think he'd have us. No, Garlitz is cool. Garlitz is always cool with us. I came across a guy on YouTube talking crap about your assessment of the Gen 3 Hemi. I can't remember his name, but I thought you were, yeah, he's like this neurotic guy. Watch his videos. I feel bad for him, to tell you the truth. He's got problems. Where's Barron? He's with his thick stripper girlfriend. Where do you think he is? What do I say? Hemis are not good for normally aspirated. Early Hemi, the early Chrysler Hemi, the first generation Hemi, they have very small bores. They have long stroke, long rod, small bore. They make good power at very high RPM. They don't make very good street happy power. There are better choices. Oh, Tony, see, you still wax the undercarriage. No. That was a phase I went through with that car, and I did what I had to do with it, and I proved my point, and then I moved on. What?
I'm mentally really good living as a chemical engineer. He does.
Who's nuts? Who cries on his vids? Well, I love you too, Extreme Loud. What's my take on Joseph Giannini? What's my take on Mopar LE small block timing chain versus timing? I always prefer chain. Chain takes less power to run. The only time I run a gear drive is when you're dealing with an engine that's going to see real hardcore detonation. Um, Definitely better off with a chain. Takes less power to drive. Simpler. Any thoughts on adding torque boxes to a 70 E-body? Probably not necessary. How much RPM is Bottle Rocket running? I got the shift light set. I still have the 5-quart pan on there, and I do not trust it. A couple of times when I ran it out past there to like 65, 6,700 in that range, and it feels really good out there. Like you like you say to yourself, this engine should not feel so good this high. Uh, it plummeted the oil pressure gauge and collapsed all the lifters. So at anything above, I want to say 62, 6,300, the oil capacity, the oil system is not up to the task of that engine. So I've got the shift light set at 6,000, and that's where I'm keeping it for the time being. Just picked up a Enrico McDougal. That's Enrico McDougal. That's a great name. Just picked up a 70 Riviera with 455. It's been sitting for 18 years. The water jacket is full of rust. Should use CLR as some other cleaner to dissolve, neutralize rust? Yeah, CLR is a good starting point. You know what? There's so many good methods and so many different, everything from electrolysis and some people use molasses, and I like white vinegar. There's so many different methods. You do some Googling, but yeah, CLR is a good thing to try. What will I do to improve the oiling system? Just an 8-quart pan with 6 quarts in it. I got a 5-quart pan with 5 quarts in it now. It's just not enough. Plus, the thing is with the shallow pan, no matter what you do, you're going to have more oil stacking at the back of the block than you will with a deep pan. So 5 quarts in a deep pan versus 5 quarts in a shallow pan, you're going to end up with more oil in the pan in the deeper pan, just because less of it's going to stack up into the back of the block. What oil pump am I using? It's stock oil pump. That's good water. It's not Tang, but it's good water. Am I planning to do the seatbelt window regulator swap out the cut weight and bottom? No, absolutely not. Bottle rocket is staying with roll up and roll down windows. Now you remember I did take the doors apart and I cut a lot of metal out of there. And actually the window regulator mechanisms are held in place with plumber's tape. I should pop the door panels off and show you guys some of the stuff I've done inside the doors. But no, what that car has to be that they roll down the window, you roll up the window. It has to be 6 people can get in it and just drive anywhere and not give anything any thought. Daniel Cook, does it matter where your distributor rotor is pointed as long as the marks on the balancer line up at TDC? Wherever the rotor is pointed is now the number one position. Yes, that is absolutely true, Dan. But you're going to find that when you go to run the wires, in their order, let's assume it's a Chevy or Chrysler, 18436 you're going to find that if you don't have number one kind of where it's supposed to be, the wires start to get into like this really weird, So the manufacturers pretty much they pointed the rotor in just that certain position. It's generally the rotor is pointing at number one. You'll get a nice neat wire, and things get a little crazy when you move number one to different positions. But yes, if the number one cylinder is the top dead center of the compression stroke, and whatever post that rotor is pointing at can be number one. Yes. Bottle rocket shirts is. We're gonna wait until the car actually does something worth. Do I advance the timing on my engines, auto salvage outlaws? Well, yeah, sometimes, yes. I mean, most of the time. Hey, Uncle Tony, have you ever done a cannonball? No, I mean, I'd like to build something for that, but I don't want to actually go out and do it myself. That's not my thing. Uh, Stephen R. I have a 273 cubic inch dart that runs 1260s, full interior streetcar, 3,100 pounds, 557 Mopar cam, Porta 360 heads, 4800 store converter, and 488. Yeah, 273s rock, man. I have one of my 67 GT. It hasn't been to the track. It's got a 290 rear and a 294 gears. It's definitely not a drag car by any stretch of imagination. But god damn it, that car is snappy. Sounds great, runs great. That 273 is magic. Uh, Dog in back. I got a couple of dogs back there. Uh, Cougario G. Hey, Tony, I'm from Pennsylvania, but visit my family often in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I always go to Cooter's place, like to see Dukes of Hazzard, and generally I think it would be a hit. But I've never been there myself. I've never been there myself, but I should eventually swing by there. I saw a 67 Barracuda convertible Formula S the other day. How rare is that vehicle? Pretty rare, very desirable. Do I ever sleep? Yeah, yeah. I take a power nap every day. Uh, do I use 273 rocket shifts on all your small blocks? No, not all of them. I've used them. Yeah, they run great, and I probably will end up going mechanical with bottle rocket. It's got hydraulic rollers in the sear. That was a mistake. I'm probably going to over the winter. I'm going to go to solid rollers and adjustable rockers. Thank you, Fubar. That's a link for our merch. Fubar just put a link for our merch. If you want a UTG hat, T-shirt, we got a couple of different designs, stickers. What's up, babe?
It's gonna be late.
Oh yeah, whatever you order is going to be late because Uncle Kathy has been mortally wounded and she handles the merch.
Oh, yeah, Uncle Crystal too. Uncle Crystal can do it all.
Uncle Crystal can do it. She can't actually print the shirts.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Terrence. Representing New Zealand. Enjoy your lunch, my brother. What happened to Kathy? We were over at Jim's place shooting some video on that dart, and she stepped in a hole, like a really deep hole. She didn't see it was covered with like weeds and shit like that, and she fell down, and her leg went like all like this and twisted it, and now she's all jacked up. What happened to randomly shipping pizza to subscribers? I don't know. We just kind of like got away from that. I don't know why. Next American. Hello, Tony. One day I'll have a hot rod too. Yes, you will, my brother. Everything is a hot rod. Anything you put your hands on that you want to make go faster is a hot rod.
Where's the UTG license plates? We're gonna get those.
We're gonna have a whole bunch of new merch for the holiday season.
This is fatal for Kathy when you sell her charger.
No, I want to keep the charger.
Thanks, yogurt. The post office is screwed. That's right, Olive. Everything is taking super long.
Bear Rose, I'm getting ready to fire a bone stock 46 Plymouth flat six for the first time. What's the best way to oil prime it? It's my first time messing with a flat six to this extent. I don't know what your best method is on that engine. Honestly, I don't. I think you want to check some forums on that.
Ow!
What, you all right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Converted a 66, Linus Roseville. I converted a 66 Dart to dual reservoir master cylinder. Now I'm bleeding the rear brakes. I get a good pedal. When I move to the right front, it loses pedal completely. Any clue what's wrong? Don't know. I don't know. You can. What did you use for a proportioning valve? I don't know. What's my most hated thing to work on? Toss it between front ends, front suspensions and transmissions. What's my opinion on a stock 400 crank? I'm building a bunch of 400. Everybody's told me to go with a 383 crank because it's lighter. I'm guessing no, it's not lighter. It's actually the 383 crank is about 3 pounds heavier than the cast 400 crank. The 400 crank is a great crank. I have one in my 68 Roadrunner there. They're fine. They're good to about 600 horsepower. Keep it out of detonation. They're good cranks. Okay, John Wilburn is rebuilding a proportioning valve on his channel this week. There you go. So John, when you got that, we need to link to John's videos here, Kat. We need to link to John Wilburn's videos.
Can he post it?
I guess. 273s have solid lifters. Not all of them have Vespian. 64, 65, 66 have solid lifters. 67 through 69, which was the last year for the 273, are all hydraulic. Staring, a good job on the dark paint. Thank you, sir. Have you ever rebuilt a rotor engine? No, I have not. Rude Mopar dude, why did the blonde stare at the Ford? It said focus. Very good, man. I like that. All right, guys. We're gonna call it an early night tonight because she's getting awfully quiet, which means that the blood may be draining from her head at this point.
All right. Keep going. It's fine. I'm fine.
No, I am. I'm gonna call it.
There's nothing you can do for me. There's nothing you can do for me. Just do what you're gonna do.
Yeah. So, Sam Mountain, thank you. All right. So, guys, that's it. We're going to make it an early night tonight. We'll do our usual, long-ass marathon Sunday night next week. Buffalo Campbell will be with us. I think Jim Mennett's going to come down and be with us, too. So, we're gonna pull the plug on this now. And thank you all for joining us. Thank you to everybody who contributed. Thank you to our mods. And we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.